waddle waddle till the very next day. Bum 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 ba-dum.
I don't care if you call this glazing. I don't care if you call it mead writing. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever helps push the agenda. The Penguin 2024 is my favorite show this entire year. It's probably the best show the entire year. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about what I love, why I loved it, and stuff like that. So if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below. If you haven't seen this show, I'll be talking about hella spoilers. Do yourself a favor, go watch it, come back to this video after that to hear my thoughts on it. But I'm definitely going to be diving into hella spoilers. And by the way, let's hop in.
And I ain't someone's guy. My name's Oswald Cobb. Next time you won't forget. Fuck out of here.
The Penguin 2024 is honestly a show I wasn't on board with in the beginning. When I first heard that the show was coming out, I was okay with it. I never saw myself watching it. And then, slowly but surely, every week, all I kept hearing was more and more hype about this show. I always knew I was going to watch it in the hopes that I saw Batman. Because the Batman 2022 with Robert Pattinson, I didn't just like that movie. I loved that movie. Let me say that again. I loved that movie. I seen it twice in theaters. Yes, all 3 hours of it. So it means I gave out 6 hours of my life and like $20 to it anyway. So I not only saw the movie, I listened to its playlist. I think everything about that movie was just perfecto. You know, I loved it. And I thought it was really good. The Penguin stood out in that movie, but he stood out in a way that I was kind of like, he's just a cool character, you know? He wasn't the main villain. He wasn't the main hero. He was just kind of like a side character that kind of like helped out the plot. He had some funny lines in the movie, though, I will say that. Also, it does help him, though, that he isn't my favorite scene in the entire movie, which is the car chase scene. The one where, actually, now that in hindsight, when I look back at it, you realize that it's the Batmobile and it's chasing his, I think that's his Maserati, the purple one that he drives in the show, which I don't know how the hell that survived this. Not only did his car survive, he survived that shit. Like, you know that he's one badass character. So honestly, yeah, I really liked him in the movie. So much so that I guess when they gave him a show, like, I can't be the only one who liked him. So I really went back and re-saw the scenes with him, and I literally skipped through the movie just to watch it again. Because now it looks a bit weird seeing them intertwine and actually interact with each other. Because now you have the hindsight, but that you didn't have before, which is honestly really, really cool. So it makes rewatching that movie a ton of fun, especially if you're gonna rewatch it again. So that's kind of the context for why I decided to watch this show, because I heard a lot of people liked it, and I really liked the first Batman, or the Batman movie, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him in the second one. So enough backstory context, let's actually talk about the show. To talk about the show, we gotta talk about Oz, aka the Penguin. First of all, I wanna say the actors in this show, him especially, is crazy. Here's a side-by-side image of the two of them. You can't tell me that's the same person. They literally, his nose, his hair, everything, even the way he talks is crazy. I think he's Irish, which is just absolutely wild. So an Irishman playing an, I think he's Gotham, but like Gotham to me was always kind of like New York. You kind of hear the way they talk and whatnot, that it's meant to be like a New York accent. So it's honestly a phenomenal job from his actor and every actor inside of this show. Victor's actor, I'm sorry, I don't really know any of their names, but Victor's actor is great. Sophia's actor is great. And Frances was probably the one that surprised me the most out of all of them. I was convinced by her performance that she had to be played by someone younger who was just wearing makeup. And I actually haven't double checked that. Let me double check that real quick. Nah, she's old. Oh my god, yeah, she's phenomenal job though. I stand corrected then. Okay, back to Oz though. The show basically, you follow Oz the entire time, and you never once think that he's like a good guy. You kind of root for him, but you really know that he's not a good guy because he does some devious shit from the first scene. I think the first scene is him with Alberto Falcone, which is the scene where he shoots him and what sets off everything for this show. Basically, it's what gets everything set into motion. So him shooting Alberto Falcone gives him a relationship to Sophia right away, gives him a relationship to the Falcones right away, and like basically all this stuff happens because of that first episode and his big ego and stuff like that. And you can literally see the premise of the show just set up perfectly in the first episode. Oz gets himself into a horrible situation, he talks himself out of it, or he'll like brute forces his way out of it almost with mind games and whatnot, which is absolutely crazy. It makes for an awesome crime drama show. It helps you root for him kind of when you see him being put in these horrible situations. It's like, how does he get out? How does he get out? Like, yeah, but obviously he has like his flaws and whatnot that also help make him a really cool character to watch. He's got his big ass ego. His relationships with other characters are dynamic as fuck. Like Victor and his relationship is very different than him and Sophia's relationship. Him and Sophia, it starts off by them kind of being teammates, and then he kind of backstabs her. He does something crazy, what he did in the first episode by shooting her brother, but he doesn't let her know that. He first teams up with him for his own benefit. He kind of spirals into like her being his enemy, and then everybody kind of ends up being his enemy, with the Falcones, with the Gigantes, or what is, and the Maronis. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, his relationship is really dynamic, and Victor too. Victor, him and his relationship is honestly my favorite in the entire show, which just kind of makes the ending just so, we'll get to the ending. Oz, lovely character. I love what they did with him in this show, and I cannot wait to see more of him inside of the next movie. Please let him have a big role in the next movie. I don't care what it is, just let him have a big role in the next movie.
Sorry, Oz. For what? Wrecking your chariot. Came back, Vic. Put your ass on the line for me. 100 Maseratis couldn't replace that. It's you and me now, kid. Till the end.
Next character I really want to talk about was Victor. Victor, in this show, he's kind of like the down-to-earth character, the character that you literally watch from start to finish. Because Oz, unlike Oz, Victor has like no backstory. You're literally introduced to him in this show. He's no connection to anybody except Oz. For the first time that you meet him is the first time that the series basically has importance for him. So, again, Victor, a really down-to-earth character and a character that you watch grow, a character that you can actually root for. You kind of watch what happened to him, how he had a direct effect from the first movie, which was the Riddler flooding his home. He has no place to go. He kind of ends up with the Penguin as like a father figure, almost like a found family, basically, which does work out for him for the majority of the show. You can see he kind of has Penguin's back, and he literally saves his life time and time again. Over and over and over, basically, the Penguin gets out of some shitty situations because of Victor, and only because of Victor. Like, the Penguin will not be in the position he's in at the final episode without Victor. I have to say, I really like Victor's character, and I'm not gonna lie, at first, I kind of was against him. I really didn't like him in like the first episode when he was kind of like a wimp and a pussy, basically, for lack of a better term. But like I grew to like him. I'll tell you exactly the scene that made me like him a lot was the diner scene with him and Victor, or with him and Oz eating, and then Oz basically tells him to like stick up to her because he has like a stutter, and it's a nice moment where he basically says like, hey, let him finish, basically, right? It's a very cool scene. I really liked it a lot, which basically helps solidify it. Victor, a very really cool character that I like a lot. He's kind of like, I'll say like a secondary character, main character. He could probably fill both of those roles. Another very main character that I will say by far has to be a character is Sophia.
I am a Gigante, and this is a new family now. A family that will not treat you like cannon fodder.
All right, okay, Sophia. All right, these gentlemen know we got a score we need to settle.
Sophia, narratively, is probably the best character in the show. I'm not gonna lie. Sophia kind of is the villain of the show. Antagonist. Antagonist is the word I should probably be using. But yeah, Sophia, great character. It's honestly really cool to see what she does. Literally, you watch her backstory. I love that they gave her a whole episode to herself. I don't know if that was episode 3 or 4, where you basically see her from start to finish, her time in Arkham. I also really like that they don't tell you right away that she's been framed. They basically say like, yeah, her father's a real piece of shit. Falcone, I forgot his first name. Basically him convicting her and using her as a scapegoat, just kind of throwing her in Arkham for 10 years, which is crazy. So you kind of sympathize with her right away. So when you sympathize with her, it kind of helps to see how much of a shitty person Oz is. Like, it's honestly, narratively, it's a very good choice to have her kind of in that situation. So yeah, again, Sophia, great character. Victor, great character. Oz, great character. Yeah, the mom, I think, is kind of the fourth character that I'm missing. I'm probably missing out on somebody, but yeah, the character's amazing. The plot is basically like a crime drama show. I've never been one for big crime drama shows, but this one was honestly phenomenal. I might have to go check out some more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to see some of these because if this is the case, put me on then. Yeah, everything about the show was so cool. Even the camera work was so cool. The plot, or we'll talk about like the camera work first and then I'll kind of get onto the plot, because the camera work honestly is like spot on. There was one shot I remember vividly where they kind of explained to you how Oz kills his brothers. I feel bad saying spoilers right now, but I did say no spoilers. So when they show you that Oz kills his brothers, they kind of do this dynamic ass shot. I hope I can find it for the video, but they do this really nice shot where it kind of shows you what's happening to flowers in the background, and you kind of get the assumption, like, the show doesn't tell you right away that they drown. You kind of are thinking it before it happens, and they do that a lot in this show. There's also the scene in the final episode where Sophia is talking about a bird that got like shoved out for more food and whatnot, and it kind of like, it leads perfectly into what's it called, Oz's backstory, where he killed his brothers for more attention to his mom. Like, again, they're not saying it right away, they're kind of like leaving you to infer it. I like when the show lets you think that you have a brain for like 2 seconds. Like, it's awesome. So yeah, show was great, and I have to talk about the finale. The finale is why I'm making today's video. Honestly, I was really hoping they didn't botch this ending, and they didn't in any regard. They made it spectacular. It was beautiful, bro. The ending of this show is very fitting. It kind of has that whole scene. Honestly, the scene that everyone is going to think about the most is the Victor scene, where he kills Victor at the end of the show. And it's honestly so brutal, so gut-wrenching that it's perfect. I probably sound sadistic saying that, but like, you kind of have this unnerving feeling the entire time that they're talking, and it's like, it's really weird because he says, "You're like family to me," and then that doesn't work out in his favor, because what's it called? Victor explained that he's like family to Oz. You've seen what he does to the rest of his family. He hurts all of them. His mom's in a vegetative state. She's locked up in a penthouse now. His brothers are dead, and Victor, this found family, stuck in the dirt. Victor's ending very it fits for the show. Obviously very sad though. You gotta stick with it. Sophia's ending really like tragic and sad. Her basically back up in what's it called, Arkham, where she started the show. She's ending the show again. So obviously there's a bit of like, I forgot the word for it, where it's like, it's kind of karmatic, I guess, because the first time she went in, she was completely innocent. This time, she's got bodies on her hands. She's got a lot of bodies on her hands. I also really like the idea that she becomes what she hates most. By her killing her entire family, she's basically imprisoned this young girl. I forgot the girl's name. Gia, I think is her name. The young girl that basically ends up in a foster home because of Sophia. Literally because of Sophia, she's basically ruined an innocent girl's life, exactly what she did. So she's become what she hates most, which honestly, really good writing, and basically lands her in Arkham again. And then Oz's ending is him being the Kingpin of Gotham, but with that really cool shot at the end of the show that just shows the bat signal and him dancing on top of the, penthouse that he got for his mom. Overall, 10 out of 10 show. I don't know if I can convince you to watch it now by spoiling all of it, but I didn't go through all the details. If you watch this video all the way to the end and you still really like and it sounds good to you, please watch it. I promise you it's really good. So, by the way, if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.